All right, what's up, everybody? My name's Alex Riddell. Welcome to episode 3 of On the Record podcast. Today I got someone really awesome sitting across from me. You might know him. You might have seen him in the scene. He does a ton of photography and supports the scene like crazy. Give it up for Jim Wertman.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Honored to be on these. I'm like, he's humble the hell out of me, man. When somebody asked me to be on these, it's awesome.
It's always good to just hang out and have a conversation, get to know you a little more.
Yeah, without the hectic show environment going on around.
Yeah. Usually when that's going on, you can only get like 5 seconds before you can't hear, and someone else is tapping you on the shoulder. And...
Yep.
So how's Jim today? How's everything?
I'm doing well. Well. You know, kind of like waiting for winter to get over. I used to enjoy winter, but I don't know. Maybe it's the one thing I'm starting to get older about. You know, kind of like warm weather now, but you know. Yep. It's to give me some stuff to go out and take photography. You know, use for my photography a little bit though. Some ice. I love ice stuff, especially with these rapid thaws and freezes. It's like the ice does really weird things, and it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. I was taking a drive yesterday. I was in Schuylerville, and we're coming down the road, and I just happened to pull out my camera, and I'll throw a picture up for you guys quick. It was just a beautiful scene. I feel like it really captures, like when you got the ice and the white on the ground and the sun shining in, I feel like that's a perfect opportunity for a nice little photo.
Yeah, because you got to take them. We've been driving and like I'll pass something and be like, that's a cool picture. And we'll be like 5 miles down the road and it's still in my head and I'm like, we're spinning around and going back. Because you have to take them when you see them because those are the moments. You know, a lot of photographers go back to a spot like for multiple days in a row waiting for that perfect light. Yep. Or perfect whatever, you know, because everything is even if you went to a spot the same day at the same time, obviously with the sun, something's going to be different going on there.
Yep.
You know,
absolutely. But there's many times I'm not even a photographer, but there's many times I'm driving down the road and I want to tap my girlfriend if she's driving, or if I'm driving, I will come to a stop and just be like, I got to go to this quick creek because I see this really cool stone and I feel like it'd be really awesome to take a picture of it. Sometimes I do, but
yeah. But yeah, you can't stop at everything. Yeah, because we'll see too. We'll see like abandoned stuff. We'll see like some sign that looks like it's. I'm like, man, there's probably a building associated with that sign. We'll shoot down some dirt road, and then we'll spend a few hours rummaging around somebody's
very cool
abandoned house. But
so Jim here has been he's been on the scene for a long time. How long have you say you've been taking photos live of bands, especially?
Not as long as some of the folks around, but like I think I got my camera 2017. About a year after I stopped doing security. That's how I got back into the scene after I was kind of out for a bunch of years. I got into security first, and then once I got out of that, and I was watching people like Pete Gregory, taking pictures. He was doing security with me, and he'd always bring his camera in and shoot, bands at the end of a show when there wasn't so much security needed.
Right.
And it was always cool to see the stuff that he did, and it was like, man, because he likes the music too. He's a fan of the bands. It's like he just catch those moments right. And yeah, so about like 2017. I played around a bit. Obviously started with the whole drunk purchase on Amazon anyways.
That's where it always starts.
Like, it's suggested for you, and there's that little bundle, and, next thing you know. But
6 cameras later.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say one thing, no, I'm not a huge gear nerd. Like, all my cameras are old. Like, they're new, they're brand new cameras, but they're all like, there's no image stabilization or anything in them. They're like the older models and stuff.
So you're you don't got the gadgets. You just kind of go with the raw.
Other than being filmed, because I've never shot film, but, I guess it's as raw as I can be. But
that's awesome, man. I'm going to, as we're talking here, I'm going to throw up a couple images Jim's done. You did one... I remember with my band, Ginger Jesus, you had done one when we were playing a show up in Troy. Amazing shot. And
Twisted Fiddler.
Twisted Fiddler. And I hope they come back. I know they're not around right now, but we're hoping for a big relaunch, and we're hoping to see their name soon. But their food has moved over to Ophelia's in Albany, so if you're ever over there, you can still get the food and the same service you got over there. But the images you take, I'm going to throw a couple up right now. Like, these things are just wild.
Appreciate that.
The energy you capture, and just you could tell in every picture you take, you're capturing the moment of their. That's such good energy when you're playing your instrument. You're putting all your energy into it, and you're capturing that shot at a time. That's got to be a crazy feeling.
Yeah, no, that's good, and that's why I'll go see bands that put on a good show, like your band, multiple times, because it's like you put the energy in that the fans need to see. As I tell a lot of younger bands, when you should be going crazy on that stage like you do in your mirror home, listening to your favorite song. And that stuff's easy, and it's like it makes taking a photo easy because it's like you're doing all the cool stuff. I'm just taking that, getting the moment, seeing it. Yep. It's like, yeah. Plus, you have to like the music too. I find it difficult to get good photos of music that I don't like because it's like I'm not into it, so there's not a feel there.
Right.
I find my photos get boring, but so I've kind of cut myself back a little bit.
Okay.
So
you like to stick to the rock, metal, that kind of genre?
That too, or just even though just anybody who's into their music though too. It's like there's certain styles I don't know. I guess I'd never be into, but
right.
I don't want to put anybody down.
It's all right. We'll keep that on disclosure. So that's pretty cool. So and it doesn't stop at bands. I know you do a lot of stuff where you're doing old places that are torn down, abandoned buildings, cemeteries. Like no matter what it is, it's like that. You're doing that. You're always finding a shot.
Yeah, trying to find always things to look cool. It's something that other people don't do all the time. Like everybody, like even with the live stuff, people take the same shots all the time. Like the first time I think I got a photo of someone live that was like not screaming in the mic and was really cool. Like somebody was just standing on the side, just getting ready to scream in the mic. That was so much cooler and more powerful than the dude screaming. So I try to do the same thing with like stuff like that. I go to the cemetery, I'll carry my camera around sometimes for days in the cemetery and not take any photos at all.
Right.
Because it's like because number one, using a camera is a pain in the butt. So anybody out there, just use your cell phone. Unless you really want to get into it, and a cell phone will do just as good with 95% of the stuff these days. Even dark. Like I take a lot of live stuff you see now. I'm posting up is off my cell phone because it's like I can't. My shoulders kind of messed up, and if it's a really crowded show, I can't get bonked around too much. So I just bring my cell phone and stand off to the side, but. Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like Northern Lights used to be like kind of like the perfect setup for a photo because you'd have that little top bunk area where you could kind of sit with the railing and you knew like there wasn't really a pit going on or anything up there where you could kind of get the overshot. You could probably zoom if you needed to. Did you do a lot at Northern Lights?
No, that was actually that got done just before I started do photography. I did do some at Upstate. I don't know if their setup was similar with like the wall and stuff, but yeah, I like the smaller clubs too better. I don't know.
Okay.
It's more, I don't know. Just, yeah. To me, it's more about just taking photos. It's about, there's an art aspect. I hate to sound pretentious like that, but.
That's okay. It's your hobby.
Yeah, it's right. It's like, I think when I go take I've had bands before that were kind of surprised that I, give them 4 or 5 photos, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm not going to give you 150 photos just because they're all in focus. They're all this kind of the same thing. So I try to give people unique stuff,
Yeah, I won't lie. There's moments where, I remember actually at Twisted Fiddler when you were doing some of our photography that night. I remember once you see the camera on you, sometimes it can. What you want to get past, you want to be able to get photos of you and video. But I remember a couple times I was like, oh, now I know I'm on. I got to make sure my face isn't doing something stupid or crunching down like I'm taking a poop or something like that.
I'll never post that stuff though. Anyway, you might get it in your inbox going, "Hey, look at this one." Well, I would never put that stuff public without someone being aware of it.
So I must have had a straight face because I didn't get any. Yeah, that's good. All right, cool.
Sometimes it's like if it's enough. Yeah, I kind of like to get a whole shot to it. A lot of times, especially in small places, it gets me the problem of trying to get you by yourself. It gets boring because. There's nothing around when I'm just trying to isolate. So I'd rather get back and make sure someone's in the back, and you guys got you got an awesome band, so you're never gonna have anybody standing around doing nothing.
Sure.
So
yeah, they're always moving up there.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And again, that's something I had to get to over the years where I used to I'd go home from a show and I'd have 1,000 photos, and it's like, then it would start to suck. So now I got to pick and choose, especially when I know a band's going to be going nuts all night long. It's like, yeah, that's cool now, but it's going to get cooler later.
Yeah.
Like I got to sometimes hold off on the trigger sometimes.
I was going to say, sometimes I'm sure you had one moment where you woke up, you had like 1,000 in there. You're like, I don't know how I'm going to get to all these.
Always. And that's another thing why I don't I've been asked a lot of times to contribute to some of these online zines and stuff that are going around, and it's like I can't be on a deadline because number one, I got to feel like doing it. You always got to feel like doing it, but it's like, yeah, because I'm not just going to throw out just junk. It's like I kind of want to put my heart into it. Like I'll take 20 minutes doing one photo. I don't have any process where I just mass edit or anything. Like every single photo, I don't care if I got 2 photos within 30 seconds of each other. There's different light. There's different shadows. You've turned your head. You've moved. Yep. Every single photo is different. So it's like they could be really close, but I'll go back and forth to try to just figure out where your fingers were. Or you do something better with the drums in the back. What were you doing in the back while I was taking a picture of your guitar player?
Right. I'm glad you brought that up. One of my favorite shots that you took, and I'm not just saying it because it was my band. He captured a picture of my guitarist James Jurin. He's a guitarist of Ginger Jesus. I'm going to throw it up right here, right now. The fucking detail in that picture. And I know you can't see it while we're talking about it, but it's the one where Maddie is right next to him, and James is just looking at his guitar, and it's got that just awesome contrast.
I think I was Putnam Place. What I think
it might have been. It might have been. This was an absolutely mean shot.
Yes,
great shot.
Yeah, I think there was almost two in that same pose that I almost didn't use because they were similar, except the difference was I think the arm with the drink was wrapped around differently or something in another shot. But but that stuff is easy, it's easy. I when I find established bands and sometimes they'll be like, oh, nobody's ever taken a picture of me like that before, and it's like I'm surprising because you've been doing this since you've been doing it. So how nobody captured that moment, I don't know. I think sometimes people just take them because they just want to be photographers and they're just spreading themselves everywhere, and it's like they really don't care about what they're taking a picture of. They just want to get something in focus that they can go and throw on their webpage and move on to the next thing, and it's like.
So you're pretty much like when we were back in 2003 and we had those crappy phones and you'd get the picture of you and it was just your face like all the way up here and there was nothing else to look at.
Yeah.
So on to these cemetery shots. Have you ever had something creepy come up on your camera while you're taking pictures in these creepy places, like ghosts or anything like that? Ghosts or ghouls?
Nope. Everybody keeps telling me we're going to bring home a spirit or something sometime. The only thing I can ever say whenever I'm in a cemetery, almost exclusively if it's raining, I can hear voices everywhere.
Really?
But it's it's probably just a play on wind or whatever. I'm not totally into spirits till I see something, but it definitely gets creepy in the rain. But no, I've taken a lot of photos and stuff, and there's always things you can look at and orbs because of light reflections or something in there. But
right.
No, I can only hope someday.
You're a believer?
Someday, maybe. Why not? Especially
so
these
you've never
days.
had a ghost story, right? You've never seen anything?
No, my mom's got a couple ghost stories from when I was younger that kind of scare me when she talks about them, like being held down in bed, not being able to sit up and stuff in our house. But I've never had anything paranormal.
I think they're afraid of you.
Maybe. I know. I still don't. I'm gonna be 55, man. I still run up the stairs, just come in the cellar and shut the cellar light off.
Shit, I won't do. Shit, I won't do. I'm home alone every light in the goddamn house is on. So, this guy, if you see him in public, sometimes he can come off a little scary. I did see a picture of you in New York, and I think you know where I'm going with this. You were in Times Square, and he came out all jacked up, beard down here, and this guy came up, and he thought you were like a wrestler or something, right?
I have no idea. The friend I was with at the time caught him taking the selfie and yelled over to him. He's like, "Don't sneak selfies. He'll take a selfie with you." The poor guy was like, "Okay." Like. Oh, man.
That was just a funny freaking post. I remember seeing that, and I'm like, yeah, the typical person in New York, you don't see that every day.
And that honestly was a shock. That was one of my, I've had such a sheltered life. That was one of my first trips to New York City, and I was really blown away at the amount of attention that a beard got, even in a city like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, of like the millions and millions of people that are there doing, with everything going on, and it's like, a dude with a beard walking down the street was just like a neck breaker.
Oh, yeah. He stood out like an old building in the 1800s.
Something. Man, it was funny.
That place is crazy. I'm good for New York for maybe like a day, and after that, I want to get back to normal. Get to see the green everywhere.
Right. It's fun. It's like going to an amusement park.
Pretty much. Yeah, same thing. 8 hours, you kind of had enough, and you're ready to get back to normal and get out of the stream of things going on over there. So with cemeteries up here, I don't know I'm sure you know a lot of the history of these places.
When we get there, my wife opens up the grave finder app and starts going through. And when we find interesting graves, she'll look up stuff there. There's cemeteries and places around here you'd never even imagine. Like just small family plots that are just probably off a road 10 feet that you drive by every single day and you don't know. Because it wasn't important enough to get a blue sign, but it's still there with a fence around it. It's wild.
Do you need certain access to go into some of these places?
Yeah, we don't trespass where we know it's no trespassing. But most cemeteries are kind of, even small family plots, if they're not on private property, are kind of like public access.
Okay.
Because it's cemetery. So.
Yeah, my aunt lives out in. She lives near Dwaynesburg. I won't give the town for privacy reasons. But she has one connected right to her property, and it's maybe like a 20 by 20 And I mean, these stones are old.
Yeah.
So like something like that, you can pretty much, is that considered the same thing? You can kind of go and look at it quick.
Well, if it's accessible with a road or something, because a lot of them like that will actually have like a public, 2-lane dirt road, and it'll be like cemetery access only kind of signs on them and stuff. So it's like you're technically on, as long as you go there. But if they're family plots, typically they don't have that. Small village plots or something, or public plots would have that access. But if a family plot might be just like private property, stay the hell off. And you get like pictures from the thing. Yeah, because I'm like, it's not worth the photo. Yeah. Plus a lot of them is like as cool as they are to see, they do get a little redundant after a while. It's like unless you got something like a stone grown into a tree really cool or something, it's kind of like all the same stuff after a bit.
Yeah.
Get over to the East Coast, and then we can find stuff that's even older. The closer you get to the ocean.
So what's one around here, like the Troy, Albany, capital region? What's one that like really stood out to you, or you were happy to find? Did you ever find somebody you were like, wow, this is cool?
Honestly, I'm still infatuated with Albany Rural Cemetery. There's so much down there that's just to see, and the way all the old, if you follow like a lot of the old roads that are sort of just grass paths, but you can see the indentations now, and there's just so much. There's cars that are down in embankments and stuff. It's like finding treasures around. But yeah, that's probably a really good one. And there's one more that's down towards St. Peter's, but I can't remember the name of it. But I recommend the Grave Finder app.
The Grave Finder app?
Grave Finder.
Grave, okay.
Yeah, no matter where you are, open up the Grave Finder app, said I'm here, and it's like it'll just pop up cemeteries everywhere. I wish it had an option to be able to mark ones you've already visited. Because we've gone to like Boston a couple times, and be like, oh, this looks really cool, and it's like, yeah, it looks really cool because we've already been there.
Yeah. Boston's an awesome place. I don't like the city too much, but the outskirts,
the city's
very cool area.
The city's tough driving.
Yeah. When you get to like the Nantasket or like the Quincy, Braintree, like those areas, I feel like you can kind of scoot around pretty easily. Yeah, that city, man. Woo!
Yeah, those like 5-way intersections that really have no, like, they're not lined up at all. Kind of.
Yeah, like the 5 corners.
Yeah, you just wait for the light and you go, okay.
Have you ever heard? This is so we're gonna do a segment of history here. We have a lot of crazy cemeteries around here. We have Pinewoods, which is up in Troy, and I believe that's the one that holds Uncle Sam's grave. Have you visited his grave yet? I think
Uncle Sam's in Oakwood.
He's in Oakwood. Okay.
Yeah. Pinewood is Forest Park, I think is the official name of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's like, I think the initial cool around here because it's the only one people knew about.
Yeah, it's the only one we snuck into as kids.
Yeah. Plus that's all cleaned out now, so it's like it's kind of, it doesn't really have the mystique that it used to have.
Yeah.
But honestly, as size wise, it's like you'll find as much cool stuff at Albany Rural. Like if you ever been on one of the Halloween tours for Forest Park or whatever the heck it is, there's really nothing there. Now that it's all cleared out, the mausoleum in the middle, being all fallen down is not as cool, but it's not surrounded by trees and bushes.
Right.
They kind of took that whole, But again, no, even the stuff inside, there's not a whole ton of stuff in there. The statues and stuff is not a big deal because it's pretty much just that one statue. But,
that's the Hollister Angel one?
Yeah. The one that supposedly bleeds and
So funny thing, I'm going to show this image up here. So this is Pinewood. Is it Pinewood Cemetery?
I think Forest Park is the official name.
Forest Park.
Yeah.
This place is it's labeled on Wikipedia. Some people call it the Gates of Hell, and I've actually had a pretty crazy thing happen at this cemetery, and it's funny because one of the pictures I just showed had exactly what I had happen. We were there's a coliseum in this graveyard, and it's kind of like broken down. It fell in. Apparently, people died. Something big happened in the past. And as a kid, we always drove in there because we wanted to catch ghosts and catch EVPs and stuff like that. So we hop the fence, we get in, we're looking around, we catch nothing. We're just walking aimlessly, and so we see the cops pull up, they're shining the lights in, we're like, oh shit! Run behind the pillar. And so my friend, he's starting where he's next to me, and I kind of hear leaves brushing, like he kind of ran off, but I didn't want to look around because the cops are, they got if I turn my head, they're going to see me. So I stay where I am behind this pillar, and all of a sudden I feel like someone's sitting on me, and I literally it felt like someone sat on my shoulders. I dropped to the ground and I yelled at my friend. I go, Jim, what the hell? And I look around, he's 100 feet back behind the building. Now I got to keep it cool because I got lights on me, so I can't scream just yet. But man, that place is absolutely nuts. So you've never heard anything or
no? But that's a good thing. It seems like somebody might have saved you. Push your head down.
Angel, right? That was the Hollister Angel in the back.
There you go.
Woo, man.
But yeah, so far we're lucky. I don't know. Yeah, nothing.
You ever like take a rock or like a souvenir?
No, my wife leaves those other rocks. She was doing those Troy rocks, those painting them, leaving those around sometimes and scattered around. But no, actually we plant flowers and stuff. We bring seeds and stuff to throw around, but no. Kind of like even when we go to like abandoned houses, like, just leave everything the way it is. Like I hate when I see in cemeteries now. People, the big thing because of the internet, people like to clean up the gravestones. And it's like, I understand the sentiment behind it. You see your relative's stone or whatever, but that stone looks old. The grass is old. The trees are old. And now you put now you get the shiny stone in the middle. It just looks like ass.
Yeah, and you're stepping on the gravesite when you're cleaning it, so it's like that's kind of disrespectful.
That too. And then it's like just leave that stuff alone. But
yeah, let it look how it looks. Let it age.
Yep.
Like a fine whiskey.
That's it. Yeah, you don't go to the nursing home and iron the wrinkles out of your grandparents. It's
right. Exactly. So one more cool little piece of history. It's easy to get off topic with the cemeteries because there's so much around this area.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a name, John Morsey?
John Morsey, no.
Really? Okay. I recommend you find his site. So one more time, I'm going to go into a really quick story. Back in the mid 1800s, there was a guy, and his name was John Morsey. This guy was born in Ireland, and he came to Troy when he was probably like 20 or 30 years old. He ended up opening the Saratoga racetrack. He worked in like the city, like Congress. He was very big into politics. And he was also a bare knuckle boxer, and he was an undefeated boxer. So people left and right were getting this guy like pretty much like I could kick this guy's ass, and he would lay him out. In a matter of seconds. So there was a couple fights that made this guy's name. They called him Old Smoke. And the reason they called him Old Smoke was because back in I think it was 1850, he was in the basement of someone's house in Boston. They had rearranged a fight because someone wanted to break his score. So they were fighting, and there was a big coal chest in the corner. One that it's like a heat stove. It's got all the coals in it and shit. And they're fighting, and he's actually kicking John Morrissey's ass. So this guy might actually lose for the first time. And the guy knocks him into the coal thing. The coals fall to the ground, and John Morrissey falls on his back onto these coals, and they say that when he felt the heat of these coals, he went into a mass rage, got up, and smoked this guy. So he became a legend, and he was actually, if you've ever seen Gangs in New York, he was actually in the Dead Rabbits gang. He, after this happened and this fight happened and it broke worldwide, like for whatever their news was back then, Bill the Butcher had actually found out, wow, this guy is not near me. I'm only in New York. So he invited him to New York to fight. And Bill the Butcher was the only guy who kicked his ass. So when that happened, John Morrissey went back home, and his team is actually the one that set the hit on Bill the Butcher and killed him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I know I did not give this story as much justice as my guitarist would, but this guy is buried right, where Oakwood Ave is.
Yeah.
Where the big church is, right across the street. He's buried right in there on a big, huge cathedral. This thing that says Morrissey, freaking badass.
Let's go check that out.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll put some pictures in here for you guys. Unbelievable, that dude was scary.
Yeah, we got so much history around here. Like it's like I never really appreciated the East Coast as much as when I watch American Picker episode, and they talked about how much they like to pick the East Coast because it's the oldest part of the country. And I was like, yeah, oh shit, it is, isn't it? Yeah, we got a lot of cool crap around here, man.
Seriously, what's the farthest you've gone for doing photography shit?
We probably stay like in the 5 hours or so, like Cape Cod. Circle that way. Like my son had a bodybuilding show in Cape Cod, and then we took 10 hours coming home. We like drove down through Rhode Island and I don't know, whatever else down that way, New Hampshire, and stopped a whole bunch of spots on the way home. Yep. Yeah, and basically turned like a 4-hour ride into a 10-hour ride getting home. But yeah, that's about it now. Well, I guess we did go to Las Vegas. That was to see my son, but we did take photos, and Puerto Rico as well.
Oh shoot! Oh, so you probably got what'd you get over there?
I got a lot of cool shit there. It was like, yeah, because it was just that was actually my first time really traveling to a place that had like a completely different culture than I was aware of. Like I said, I was so sheltered as a kid. As far we'd go to Wildwood, New Jersey. We'd never go to Puerto Rico. So just to go down and just see the culture and just the houses every house is a different color. It's like,
Yeah.
we're up here so boring. It's weird to see a house now that's got color on it, and every single house now is a different color. And I don't know. It was just an awesome experience. I found myself, it took probably more pictures with my cell phone because it was just easier than, the camera's in the back seat, but the cell phone's in my hand. So I was like,
Yeah.
but I whipped it out for some stuff like the one street that they have that's all basically canopied in with colored umbrellas all the way down.
I've seen a picture of that.
Oh, it was awesome. And it was kind of dead that day, so I got the pictures. Doesn't really have many people on it that I got. So it was like, that was cool.
That's one of those things. You don't know how it's going to be because it's, that, as they would say, a big tourist destination. So you don't know if it's going to be full.
Yeah, which is fine too, because it's that's the moment,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got probably the best shot I got out of there, and maybe I'll send it to you since it's actually probably the one that rings the most with that trip was there was a dude like a street performer who was playing like a accordion sitting on a stoop, and again there was nobody other than like way down the street, so it was like this lonely street and this dude just sitting there playing the accordion on the ground. It was like, that was awesome.
Wow. It's amazing when you go overseas and you start, I mean, sometimes not even see, sometimes you can go on the subway. But all the different stuff going on and the foods and the music and the the religious beliefs. I mean, everything's totally different when you go somewhere.
It's nuts. I was even blown away when I went to Vegas. It was my first time going over there. Just the landscape different. It was just like, it's like it was a difference between like shaved and hairy being over here. It was like, this land would look exactly the same if we took all the trees down.
Yeah.
Like when you drive on the lonely highway and it's like trees and you see the mountains off in the distance. But over there, when it's desert on both sides, it's like, it's kind of the same thing. But it's just, I don't know. It was just the different animals, having donkeys in the road instead of deer.
115-degree days at 8 a.m.
Ironically, though, the time we went over, we brought all shorts over there, and it was one of the coldest days they had that winter. We were freezing.
Oh,
it was windy.
It was cold there?
It was not freezing, but freezing for what you were expecting because it was windy. They had a huge windstorm that actually delayed. They had to cancel some emo fest that was going on over there. They canceled one day because there was so much sand blowing. They couldn't even have this show.
I didn't even think of that. The big sandstorms over there.
Yeah.
That's got to be wild.
So that was pretty neat to see that. See those giant, drive down this road, you got like 10 tornadoes of, those wind, I don't know what the hell they are.
Whirlwind things or something?
Funnels, yeah, and they're just, oh, yeah.
Jesus.
And that's right in our country, but it's a whole different world over there.
It's crazy. I've always wanted to do a route where you leave here and you get to 66 and you come and maybe take a different route back so you don't see the same thing, but just that whole journey of west to east and go. That's a 2-3 week venture. At least not a week.
Yeah, or more. Yeah, or a good month anyway. That's what we thought about that next time we went out to Vegas to see. My son was possibly driving out because of the dogs, and I don't like flying. It's too squishy for me. It's like it's rough. I'm not a fan of. I'll do it if I gotta. I'll spend serious money for good tickets next time.
Yeah.
No economy seating on an airplane for me anymore. It's miserable.
No.
But I do like to drive though, so we'll see.
With all the airplane stuff going on right now, it's just like I'm tapped out. If it wasn't enough where I get my ticket and then like me and my girlfriend, like there was a time way back where we had to sit on different ends of the plane. Luckily, people were nice enough to be like, I'll just switch. But sometimes that happens. It depends what class and what. If you're up front, first class, you're getting served, you're good.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay for that. That's part of the vacation right there.
Yeah. I actually found where I was trying to. I didn't even know at first at one point, like when I had picked our seats, and then like you go to like pick your return seats, and if you don't pay attention, they won't put you together, which is weird. Like why the hell wouldn't that be like the default when you're buying 2 tickets to put 2 tickets together? But if you're not watching,
it's nothing like being in Class E and seeing 40 people line up for A. That's the part where I get like, as a musician, my dream is obviously to, travel as much as I can and see everything I can and play wherever I can. But it's like, you take away, you see these people who do it for months on end. And it's like, that's got to get pretty, because I get pissed off when I'm 8 hours in a flight. I couldn't imagine every single 2 days you're having to do that and get caught up and lose your shit on travel and...
Well, I was going to say, and you're more than worried about a suitcase or two. You got a drum kit, possibly.
Yeah. The first time I got to ship my stuff to somewhere, it's going to be a very scary, anxious day for me.
Yeah. Hopefully, if you get to go to Europe, they probably got a kit over there for you, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think at first I'll make a fake cardboard kit and just make sure that makes it first before I pack my stuff. So what's next on your list? You got shows coming up you're going to be doing?
Nothing really that's like standing out.
Yep.
Or whatever. Actually, I see Brick by Brick is just releasing, getting closer to their album release. We did a photo shoot. I did a photo shoot with those guys. So all the photos that are coming out for that are mine.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
Yeah, we did a whole bunch of them at one point. They wanted like 10 of them, and I was like, we got them.
That's going to be a time and a half. Now, what's the date of that?
That one's April 26th, I believe.
Okay. I'm going to stick the flyer up for you guys. Check it out. Definitely make sure to go there.
Yeah, man. And he's going to be up in the big room. So
they're on live?
Yeah,
Very nice.
up and live, yep.
Yeah, this is a great band, hardcore band, right out of Troy. They've been around a really long time. They do a lot for this scene. This Mike especially has been around for a long time, booking shows for my band, and been watching him grow. He's been watching us grow, and he's a huge supporter. So you do a lot at Empire Underground and live, right?
Yeah, mostly underground. When the crowds aren't huge now, because I got a bum shoulder now, so it's like I can't get in the middle of the pits anymore and get knocked around like I used to.
That's yeah.
So I definitely miss that, and that but there's enough people out there doing it now.
Yeah.
So sometimes adding me in there just makes it camera overkill these days.
I never realized how hard moshing really is. Like back 20 years ago when I was going to a little like punk show or whatever I was going to, it was more push and shove, and now there's actually like a whole freaking dance to it. And these people, I tried it a few years ago, and I know some of these guys around here saw me do it, and they're just like, that's harder than it looks. You can get as pissed off as you want, but you got to know how to move them limbs, or you ain't moving for a while.
Yeah. The funny part about it is, I'm up there and I'm not a small person, but I'll get knocked into by some kid that's like 160 pounds and like they're throwing me against the wall.
Yeah, adrenaline's a thing, man.
So they got they got everything going. It's like there's, but again, I did security for years. There's hardly any fights in that stuff. People always look at that from a distance. It's like all that aggression gets out. They love to beat the hell out of each other, man. And
they'll pick you right up, kick you in the face, pick you right up. It's a family.
Yep.
I remember a long time ago, I was at an Amir show. I'm at the outer rim of the pit. I'm Mr. Tough Ass, right? And all of a sudden, I just wake up and I'm outside. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And you're like, you got mule kicked, motherfucker. I remember going in, the guy's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm like, this is what I signed up for. This is why I signed a waiver.
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't mean it. Maybe he did.
Yeah, you never know. But again, like I say, you're in that spot. Talking about that, most recent one was Faded Line. And
shout out to those guys.
They bounced into that Biohazard cover. People went nuts. It was the first time we had like a serious like stage diving craziness in underground, and I just had my head turned for a second, and somebody ended up on my head, which is fine, other than knock my glasses off. So now I'm like shoving people out of the way, trying to get my glasses off the floor before they get stepped on. But again, I'm there, and that's where they're jumping. So it's like
exactly.
If you don't expect that,
Yep. Now maybe you haven't seen a ghost. Maybe that was your guardian angel that day. Be like, turn your head very fast, or else you're gonna get what I got.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been better if I seen him coming. At least I could have maybe caught him or something. But
yep,
yeah, that was good though.
Yeah,
I love good energy at shows. But the band's got to bring that too. If the crowds are flat, turn it up a notch.
There's a reason for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One band, and I know you've posted about this as well. One that. The front man always impresses me, and you think he's going to come off that stage and hit you. You know who I'm talking about? You said it a while back, and I agree.
I get it.
Madball.
Yeah.
Madball. You ever seen them live?
Yeah.
They got energy.
Yeah, and they've been basically playing probably playing close to the same set list for how many years, but yet the same energy every single night.
Yep, committed fans, and they're all over the place. They go overseas, like UK, right? That's a big scene over there, especially.
Yeah, they like the heavy music over in Europe compared to over here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Ginger Jesus, we've been talking about trying to, maybe not this year, but maybe the year after, trying to, venture up to our first, maybe Canada, or, we know Sweden's got a huge thing for heavy blues and stuff like that. Who knows? We'll see where the rabbit hole takes us, I guess.
That's it. The band's really good, man. So
Thank you.
That was awesome. All great players and, like I said, great musicians. It's fun to just watch.
Yeah, it is. We're glad you were a part of that. So this guy is not just a photographer. He's also a movie star. Yes, we got to go into this.
Yeah.
So I think it was 2022. You were in a movie. It was what kind of movie would you say?
It was a horror movie. Yeah, we kind of shot it a lot during COVID. Oh man, it was raining so much too. So many shoots in the rain and reshoots and days canceled. Yeah, mostly shot it like we were in Rotterdam, which is always really fun.
That's where I grew up.
Yeah, we were up in the woods in Rotterdam. Yeah, Vegas was initially in it, and because he knew.
Yeah, Vegas Nancy. Shout out to Vegas.
Yeah, he knew all the dudes that were involved in it, and they needed somebody else that was, I don't know, gruff and biker looking, I guess. And he showed the Sean Cranston my picture, and he's like, perfect,
Yep.
So I ran up to Salvation Army and grabbed some 1970s looking brown turtleneck shirt and a pair of jeans, and that was it. Ran around in the woods with no glasses on. Oh, that was rough.
And the name of the movie was
Full Moon Fathers.
Post a little picture so you guys can see here.
It's on YouTube, out there to watch. I think it's some other streaming stuff too, but YouTube's just as good.
So what was the movie about?
It was about. It's hard to say because without giving it away, because it's like
Sure,
I'll give you this. It's like it's not a werewolf movie. That which kind of like throws it away. It's not a werewolf movie. You would think it's a werewolf movie. It's not a werewolf movie.
Is it one of those based on true events kind of thing?
No, definitely not. It's definitely like a long term, like hundreds of years kind of horror story, and this group of guys just is almost like followed by a demon or something throughout the years, and this was just like one of the meetings with it, like surfacing and ends up, killing the entire. It's been out for a while now. Killing the entire group. We all kind of get picked off one by one. I get the
even you.
Yeah, Vegas gets to kill me because Vegas gets possessed and he tears my head off.
Oh shit!
So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How long did it take to film?
My involvement was just a couple of days, but it was months between rain delays and all the production stuff or whatever. But so I only needed to be there for 3 days, maybe at the most.
Okay, that's not bad.
But those guys did a lot. There was a lot of other shooting, a lot of other scenes because like our stuff was limited. It was a whole like pre-story with like a whole police scene and stuff that was like the first half of the movie, and then the last half of the movie we just had a couple of guys left that weren't killed yet. So like I pretty much got we were all just dead within 2 days worth of shooting.
Yep.
It was funny because it was almost as much shooting for me as like when I did the skinless video before, and that was like for a 3-minute video, and I was there for 2 days. We probably shot for 20 hours between 2 days.
It's a long time when you're doing that.
It's fun. But
you just get so after 10 hours in, you're like, I feel like that persona goes away, or you're kind of like in drag mode now.
We're trying to. Oh yeah, because we got a ton of scenes too from that skinless video. I'm hoping maybe someday Joe put them out because like we did so many like skits where I was getting pissed off and that we didn't even use. Like one where I broke a chair and I fell down, and it was like but it was just too many to use. But maybe we'll see a part 2 of that video someday.
I hope so. Oh, that's funny, man. So we're getting into some questions and answers here. I got 3 for you. So my first one is, you definitely did explain it twice, but let's hear a story about one time that you were trying to get some footage or a picture, and you were caught in the wrong time of the mosh.
That time when I was just standing when I got knocked at the Faded Line show, when I was taking photos.
Yeah, what was the worst one? You ever drop it completely? So, like just something chaotic?
It was probably the worst one. Wasn't even local. It was down in New York City at Awaken to Cadaver show. Awaken to Cadavers just came back.
Grindcore, right? They're a grindcore band.
Or like slam death metal, beat down. It's one of those shows where you go to where people just punch each other in the face, like,
oh yeah,
and not even like dance, they just punch each other, and it's like, so I was on the stage. In fact, they got the whole video of the show, and you can see me get knocked. I got hit from behind and like flat on my face on the stage. No blood or anything on that one, but that was probably the hardest I've ever been hit at a show.
Do you need a break after that?
No, because you can't get. That's the thing. Once you're there, you're committed.
Yeah.
I had to get back to the wall because my wife was at the wall, but it's like I had to get my shots too, and yeah, I've had quite a few hits home, but nothing like that. Nothing like that.
I got the liquid courage again at Northern Lights. Northern Lights is where all my stuff happened. Apparently, I was drinking a pretty good amount, and I thought I was completely invincible. Holding up my camera in the middle of a pit, and I'm just rocking around like this. Next thing you know, I just feel my arm go like this, and I just see my phone go woo, to the other side of the pit. I had to wait because I didn't want to get mule kicked again. So I had to wait. Luckily, someone held it up, and there was a pause in the pit, and the music went silent. And I was like, this is my freaking chance. So I ran in, and I got my phone back. We were good.
Yeah.
Don't follow liquid courage.
No.
Doesn't always work for you.
No, you need your reflexes on 100% when it out there. Pay attention.
Yeah, exactly. Watch your surroundings. Respect your surroundings.
Yeah.
Next question. You might have done this already. What's your dream shoot? Do you have something you've just always wanted to photograph or be a part of?
I don't know, man. I'm enjoying what I do right now. You know, there's nothing better than someone like you coming to me and wanting to talk to me about this stuff, or someone hitting up my inbox going, "Man, will you do band photos?" And then being them like so blown away that I will, like I'm some kind of like superstar photographer or something. Just like, man, I want to take pictures. You know, I was like, just give me something cool. You know, that's something I'm open to do anything if people do something cool and fun. You know, and that's like go somewhere. You know, if you want band photos, let's go somewhere and take band photos. We're not gonna go. I'm not gonna take you to a studio somewhere and whatever. You know, you want to do something, get your feet dirty. Like best photo shoot recently was before Brick by Brick, we took 1,000-yard stare, and we took a 2-hour drive down south to Letchworth Asylum. And we walked through there and did all the photos there. They had an awesome time because they get to visit an abandoned building that wasn't there. And it was like the place is just loaded with photo opportunities. You know, it's just like basically we just walk back, stop, you know. But that's the stuff I want to do. Like I have no, studio stuff. I have to admit though, I've done studio stuff like with the Grandstand Jockeys. We were down at oh my goodness, what is that? Studio that we were at the studio when they were doing the record, and they had a photo studio down there, and which was pretty cool because I've never shot a photo studio before, so that was nice to actually have all this crazy light. I could use a big giant bubble lens like to do these stupid wide stuff or whatever, but right. That would be boring after a while because it's be too easy because every photo there's no excuse for every photo not to be perfect because right. The light is perfect, Yeah. So I'd rather take you to an abandoned building somewhere and see what we can do. It'd be more fun, and it's a way better result. Oh, Keiko's too. We just all they're I should say all of them because they've got a lot of other photos that are coming out, which from some awesome photographers. But a bunch of their promo photos they've been putting out are mine as well. And we went to Albany Steel. No, it's not Albany Steel. Troy Steel or Iron Works or whatever. That's almost fallen down in Troy, another abandoned place. So we took photos in there, and that was awesome. Because it's dark, it's dingy. I don't use any kind of light, so it's like all the natural light is just perfect, and the picture starts out already metal as hell. It's like nice. You don't need much after that.
Right, it will pop above so you guys can check these things out. Like I said, the detail you create in these pictures are just absolutely unbelievable.
Appreciate it.
Definitely, you're doing a great job, and we're definitely look forward to seeing more from you.
Oh yeah. I'm not done yet. I might be slowing down, but I ain't done.
We ain't done till we can't move.
That's it.
Yeah, I've always wondered what comes after music, and I think last night I figured it out. I was talking to Maddie D, and we were talking about it, and I was just like, I think one day when my hands give up and my ligaments give up and I can't, I'll just kind of go around supporting and watching, at that point, and I guess that's my retirement plan.
Play slower music.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll switch to like... Well, salsa's actually, I was going to say salsa, but that's actually pretty hard.
That's true.
Something slow.
Yeah.
Something to fade out a little bit. Another question for you. So actually, I got 2 questions left. This question. What's the longest your beard ever was?
Oh, I'll get you pictures of that. I think people for all the years always wondered what my secret was, and I never knew. Apparently what it was lifting weights. Because the minute I stopped lifting weights, like my beard just like...
Really?
Oh, my beard was actually down where it was I could get it stuck standing up in my belt. So it was pretty long. I can give you pictures if you want to put up. But yeah, I never measured it, but it was well down.
Yeah, I remember I saw you. I think it was one of the first times I met you. I think I cut you off, and I was really scared after that. I was like, shit. But I seen you, and it came down to, it was like I think you're like your belly button, but that was also in a hair tie. I'm like, how fucking long is this thing, man?
I see those memories too, and it makes me sad when it's like, yeah, when I got it, it's like doubled over the tie, and it's like as long as it is now or longer, and it's like, man, oh man, where'd all the hair go?
You gonna try again?
I don't do anything with it now. I think it's just kind of, I just let nature go. I've only had the beard trimmed once. I can't even remember how many years ago it was, but it was just a short trim. I think it's just, if you look at ZZ Top throughout the years, it's the same thing. Theirs is there and gone and whatever. It's like I don't know. We'll see. I don't eat as healthy as I used to too, so that might be helping it.
It's just winter. That's what it does to us.
That could be. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't do anything with it other than just let it grow.
There you go. I can't. Mine just looks like pubic hair. No matter what I do, everyone's been saying the same thing to me for 12 years. They're like, just keep shaving. I'm like, I've been doing that. No. Still looks like bald hair.
What you got to just stop shaving and let it go. So I tell people when you start going bald on top, you got all the hair, all the beautiful hair, you're good.
Thanks,
Don't worry about
it.
At
least if it don't grow here, it grows there.
That's it.
The last question for Jimmy. This is, we do this every episode. Everyone has a different opinion. What's your take on pineapple on pizza?
Oh, absolutely.
We
just finished it. Actually, I had two pieces this morning. I don't know if we want to plug pizza joints, but man, Three Brothers in Watervliet is awesome. Get it with the ham and the pineapple and jalapeno peppers. Oh,
interesting.
Forget about it.
So I was talking to Rob Smittix of RadioX. Well, this is where we are recording this. We're at RadioX Studios. I asked him, and he was all for it. And somebody had told me, which I was telling him, someone said bacon and pineapple.
Well, bacon, ham, kind of, yeah.
But now you add the bacon, pineapple, and the jalapeno.
The jalapenos are the thing.
I think I could mess with that.
I got jalapenos from Haley and Jake Roberts, so mostly Haley because Haley posted about it. And I was like, and that was the thing, I'd never put the peppers on it either. And the peppers is another level.
So maybe that's the secret unleashed. Like you would like Hawaiian pizza if this was on.
That could be too. Yeah, if you're not a fan of maybe it's too much sweet and the pepper kind of, yeah.
No shit. All right.
That's the key.
That's 2-1. You and Robbie like it. I don't. But you know what? I'm going to try Rob's idea, and I'm going to try your idea, and I'm going to review it. Anything left for the folks out there you want to say? Or
no, man, this is awesome. Again, I'm humbled as hell to be here, and
no problem, man. Happy to have you.
Yeah,
I think you deserve the recognition. You've been doing this shit for a long time, and your work shows, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Anybody wants band pictures done, hit me up. I'm not as scary as he thinks I am when I'm in public. I know. Yeah, it's more like an anxiety thing about talking, but definitely come up and say hello anytime.
Absolutely. We're gonna put his link right here so you guys can follow right there and shoot him an inbox. He'll be more than happy to work with you, and you will definitely love what you get. So, thank you, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Always a good time. Until next time, thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of On the Record Podcast. We'll see you later.